Thank you, Steve. Our speaker tonight is Alan Bergstein. Alan would like you to know that he is the father of 4 kids, a Korean War veteran, a retired New York City from South Bronx junior high principal, an editorial writer, speaker, and columnist, president of the Judeo-Christian Republican Club of Palm Beach County, and a proud Jewish activist. What he did not ask me to tell you, but what I will tell you, is that as of July 5th, he's also one of a group of select heroes of mine. I ask you to help me welcome Alan Bergstein.
Thanks, Ruth. If things go well, and according to plan, the mic will kick off in about another 2 minutes. But I'm happy and proud to be here today with you to deliver a message. I've not been here before, but it's a beautiful community, it's a beautiful turnout, and you people are hard workers. Coming out here and devoting yourself to this club, I appreciate that. About myself, I was born a Jewish umbilical cord Democrat in Brooklyn. I couldn't help it. My family was socialist. They came here from Poland, my mother and father, and they came here struggling to make a living. My father was a hard worker. He was a waiter. He was a waiter all of his life in Manhattan. And he schlepped me out when I was 11 years old to wash dishes and glasses in the basement of the Chrysler building, because he worked at Chrysler building. So I was a union worker, and I was a Democrat, of course. I knew no better until my brother, who ended up being a full professor of economics at West Virginia University, grabbed me one day and he said, listen, our father does not, as much as he is a socialist, our father does not want us to become like him. Our father wants us to make money. And he explained to me, he says, look, our dad works in a restaurant. He creates no jobs. He creates no income for other people. He says, but the owner of that restaurant employs waiters, busboys, dishwashers, parking garage attendant. He creates jobs. He said, this is the way we have to go. We have to go with capitalism. And he said, and I hate to use this word because we have people here with a sense of socialism is crap. And so is the Democrat Party. And from that time on, so here we are. On November 9th, in the morning, I was up watching television. I said, this is another miracle. November 9th, 2017. I said, this is another miracle. Today is Purim, which is the Jewish holiday we were saved from, of all people, whom? The Persians. The Persians. Haman was the horrible guy. He was going to wipe out the Jewish community throughout the empire of Persia, which was huge. That would have been the end of me and the religion. And along comes Queen Esther, who is the first woman hero, I think, around. Women, the leftist women would love her today. And she was the heroine of that thing. But there was another miracle, and I think a greater miracle, basically, was the win of Donald Trump on November 8th and 9th. Well, what have we Republicans done with it? And I'm basically sometimes an outspoken outcast in the Republican Party because I always want them to do more. I'm very unhappy many times with the Republican Party. And that's how we get things done, and this is how we get things changed, because we speak up. I'm very unhappy with the Republican Party. I'm very unhappy that we won this miraculous election in November 8th, and we threw it away. I would use another term, but I use the term, threw it away. We threw it away. We're fighting with one another, among ourselves. You have Tom McCain, you have the Bushes, you have the Romneys. We are killing ourselves. We had it won on a silver platter. We fought for it, and all of us in this room bled for it. We worked our behinds off of that, and we're throwing it away. We're absolutely throwing it away. I look at the Democrats. I was a Democrat when I moved down here, and I moved to Boca in 1992. I joined immediately the South County West Delray Democrat Club. There was a guy named Murray Kalish, Bert Aronson, you know Bert Aronson, and all of those old timers, and Robert Webster. I looked at them, and I went to their meetings, and I said, look at these people. You have 300 people at a Democrat club meeting. And they're all friends of one another. They come here every month, and they shake hands. They say, how's your wife doing? I understand she wasn't feeling well. They were a family. The Democrats, they know how to do it. And when I turned into being a Republican, when I stopped making believe I was a Democrat, I said, this is what the Republicans have to do. We have to work together as a family. We are grassroots. No one gives a damn about us. In Washington, D.C., they don't give a damn about us. It is we who are here, we are working alone, and we have to fight, we have to struggle. You have Lois Frankel, who's a total complete human. You have Ted Deutsch, who is an idiot. I knew Ted Deutsch before he, to be honest, before he became a legislator, he was an idiot. He was a lawyer.
Professional idiot, PM.
Talk to Ted Deutsch. Ask him a question, and his eyes go blank. This is the truth. But he's in Washington, D.C., and we are here. Why is he in Washington, D.C.? Because the party is solidly behind him. No ifs, ands, or buts. What he is told to do, he has the batteries up his behind, the unread batteries, and he does it. He is a robot. They are all that way. And this is why they win, and this is why right now, as I see it, we're on the verge of throwing it all away. We're on the verge of throwing it all away. Take a look at what happened in Parkland. 17 kids massacred. Who did it? Not this kid, Nicholas Cruz, not him. It was Trump and the NRA. They are the ones who did it, not this kid. They blamed it on Trump, and they're getting away with it because they own the media and they own the brains of their mental midgets who go out and fight. If you tell someone in your community that, hey, listen, Trump had nothing to do with this, they call you a liar. You say it's Trump, it's the NRA, and it's the automatic weapons, which of course it wasn't an automatic weapon. They know what to do. They are well trained. We are not. And I beg you, get up and speak up. I always say that the Jews who live in the communities, Boynton Beach and Delaware Beach, they're afraid, the conservatives, they're afraid because if they get up in their condominiums and they speak out for Trump, they're afraid of being thrown out of the card game and into the pool. Because they're thrown out socially. They lose their golf game, they lose their card game, they lose their margin game, they lose going out to dinner with friends. They are totally, completely isolated. Democrats are fascists. They are fascists. We cow down to them. They'll say to me, Alan, I can't speak up in my condominium because if I do, they won't like me. And I said, well, who gives a crap? They don't like you anyway now. They know you're a Republican. They despise you now. They'll shake your hand, they'll kiss you on the cheek, and as soon as you walk away, they'll say, that idiot is a Republican. I hate it so hot. We're isolated anyway, so speak up. And this is my concern. I look around and I talked to a church this past Saturday. I was invited to the Catholic Church in Highland Beach, a very highfalutin church, and I spoke to these people. And I said, I'm a Jew, and I'm coming into your church this week. I said, this is ecumenism, totally complete in the way it should be. We are in this war together. A couple of years ago, 10, 15 years ago, the Jews basically were threatened by being wiped out by the Muslims. You know the story. Today they came to my neighbor, blah, blah, blah. Yesterday they were threatened, and today they come to me. Now it is a Christian community who is threatened. Nicholas, Lebanon, the man of Christians in Lebanon. At one time, Christians were prominent in Lebanon. Beirut, Lebanon, was the financial capital of the Middle East. Today it's all Muslim. Christians are on the verge of being wiped out in the Middle East. Christians at one time, were 100% population of Egypt at one time was 100% Christian. Did you know that? Turkey, is the founding area for Christianity. Istanbul was named after Constantine. He turned the Holy Roman Empire into Christianity. Now it's 99% radical Muslim. Erdogan runs it. Total dictator. Total dictator. Christians in the Middle East are being wiped out. Israel is the only country in the whole Middle East where Jews can worship, Christians can worship, and Muslims can worship in peace and in tolerance. In Jerusalem, you have imams. You know, an imam is basically the religious leader in the Muslim group. Imams speak out. In Jerusalem, they say, kill the Jews. And the Israelis say, well, this is freedom. They're entitled to speak. This is total complete stupidity. Total complete stupidity. The Democrats are on the side of the Muslims. If you have any doubts in your mind on which side the Democrats are, it is for the Muslims. It is Barack Obama, who was born a Muslim, to Barack Obama, his father. His stepfather, Sotero, was a Muslim. Barack Obama studied in Jakarta. He went to a madrasa in Jakarta. He knows all about Islam. On a radio show in 2007, when he was running for office, he was interviewed by a New York Times reporter. And you look it up on your computer, and he gave a Muslim prayer from the Quran by heart in Arabic, and he said, this is the greatest song on earth. You look, Nicholas Crystal, the reporter for the New York Times, Nicholas Crystal, he gave that interview. This song from the Quran is the most beautiful music on earth. And he said it in Arabic. And yet, if you had said when he was running for office against McCain that he was a Muslim, the Democrats would be all over it. They will be all over it. He is never a Muslim, never. Total complete lie. But they can lie with a straight face. They lie. There's a word in Arabic, it's called taqiyya. You know what taqiyya means in Arabic? It means deception. The Democrats have learned the word taqiyya. They will lie to you with a straight face. Means nothing at all to them. If it serves their purpose, if it establishes and gets them their goal, they will lie to you. Take a look at Lois Frankel. A couple of months ago in Kings Point, the Kings Point community, she had an open meeting, and I went to the meeting. And in the Q&A, I said to Ms. Frankel, I said, Keith Ellison is running for the head of the Democrat National Committee to run the entire Democrat Party in all of the country. Are you aware that he was a devout Muslim? He belonged to Louis Farrakhan's Nation of Islam. Are you aware of that? She said that's a lie. He was never Muslim, and he doesn't know Louis Farrakhan. Look it up on your computer. A photograph came out last week with Keith Ellison standing right next to whom? Louis Farrakhan. So we have got to not emulate them in lying. I don't go for lying. But we've got to go out forcefully, and we've got to attack them with the truth. With the truth. Because what we have behind us is truth. They cannot deny it, because I always say to my groups, when I talk to liberal groups, and they go 8, they go through the ceiling, I say, look it up. I say, come back to me next week and show me proof that I'm lying. They never show up the following week. Well, that's the way it is with them. We've got to speak out. We have 2 candidates here, and I'm honest. They don't stand a chance in hell. They don't stand a chance in hell. Let's be real about it. But they're going out and fighting, and they're going to come back. In 2004, do you remember Sid Dynasty?
Yes.
The head of the Republican Party. He came over to me in 2004. I was a little younger then. He said, Alan, I'd like you to do me a favor. I said, what do you want, Sid? I thought maybe you needed some change to beat the tip. He said, I'd like you to run against Bert Emerson. I said, are you out of your freaking mind? He says, no. He says, I'd like you to run against Bert Anderson. You don't stand a chance in hell, but we need a candidate. We need somebody to run against Bert Anderson. No one wants to run against Bert Anderson. So I went home, I asked my wife, I said, would you still live with me if I run for office? She said, I ran against Bert Anderson. I got wiped out. I got crushed. I got 26% of the vote. Probably people who didn't like Bert Anderson, because there's a lot of reasons not to like him, but there were some Republicans in the district. And I came home happy, because I pushed for George W. Bush in the 2004 election. That's all I did. I said, to hell with being commissioner of Palm Beach County. I just put, wherever I had a speaking engagement, I debated Bert Anderson. I didn't talk about Bert Anderson. I could care less what he did. I talked about George W. Bush. I didn't care. And that's what these candidates are doing. They're throwing themselves to the wolves for you and for the party. Have you heard what's going on in Chicago? Illinois? There's a candidate on the Republican ticket who is a Nazi. Self-declared Nazi. He says, I hate Jews. There was no Holocaust. He is going to be the Republican candidate on the ticket. Why? Because the Republicans in Illinois are as stupid as dirt. They did not put up another candidate against him. They let him walk in. They said, well, we don't need this position. We don't stand a chance in hell. So we'll save $10,000. And they let, what's his name, George? Arthur Jones. They let Arthur Jones walk in. He's a registered Republican. He put his name in, the only candidate, and he won. He now is going to represent the Republicans in an area of Chicago, District 3, Congressional District 3 in Chicago. How did they let that happen? Because they're stupid. They're stupid. They ignored reality. Now, this is going to be all over the papers. They're waiting. You know, the media is an arm of the Democrat Party. You know, they're going to come out and say, "Look, the Republicans, they got a Nazi running," and the Republicans will say, "Yeah, he's a Nazi." But and they say, "Don't give us any buts. Don't give us any buts. We don't want any excuses." Is he a Nazi? Yeah, he's a Nazi. Then you know what? Who knows what other people on a ticket in Chicago and Illinois are going to go down? This is what we have. We have to speak. We have to speak up to our party. We've got to speak up to the Republican Executive Committee in Palm Beach County. Do not ever let this happen here. If a candidate is huge, like Ted Deutsch, runs in the district judge, all Democrat, put up a candidate against him. Put up a candidate against Lois Brennan. Put up a candidate against Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She's had free reign. She's had free reign. You've got to do it. And it's you, the grassroots people. You should not be told by the Republican Party what to do. It's the other way around. You tell them what they've got to do. They must listen to you. And if they brush you off, well, you know what you do. We formed the Judeo-Christian Republican Club down south, Boca del Rey, Boynton Beach. We started in May of 2017. In May, we now have 250 paid members. We pack them in, 200 at a meeting. We got Alan West. He flew in for us and flew out. In, spoke to us, flew out. Got over 400 people. We had Roger Stone last meeting. 200 people. We pack them in because we are doing something right. We are saying to the community, we are representing you in Tallahassee and in Palm Beach because we're local. I have nothing to do with what's happening in New York or out here. We are going to be listened to and we are going to be heard. You know why? Because numbers mean power. Numbers mean power. If we have the voters, they're going to come to us. And they have to come to us. And we're going to say to them, this is what we want. And I'm honest. I don't care anymore. When you have these numbers, you direct them. The people at the club, you have to listen to you. And this club here has got to grow. You're in a vital community. Palm Beach County will control the country. Our 29 electoral votes will control the country. And it's going to go up more. You know why? The Puerto Rican influence. The Democrats loved it. They loved that storm. They loved it. Why? We'll bring the Puerto Ricans in here. They were permitted to vote. And I'll tell you something horrible. They loved the shooting in Parkland. They loved it. I'm being very honest. I'm straightforward. As soon as they heard that, they said, listen, we were drumming our fingers on the tablecloths and tapping our toes on the floor and looking at the calendar. We were waiting for a school shooting like this to happen. We are ready for it. How do you think they got those buses to Tallahassee? Like that. George Soros, Debbie Russell, and Schultz, and the Democrat Party paid for those buses. Those kids that you see on CNN, you gotta watch CNN, they're controlled by the Democrat Party. They are given scripts. CNN scripted the questions for the kids. A couple of the kids had guts and said, we're not going to do that. CNN says, you don't want to go on? We got other people who do our work for us. And that's what they did. These kids, just like the 1960s, SDS, remember the Students for Democrat Society in the 60s, the radical leftists were against the war? Now they are our professors in college. These kids in Parkland are the future professors. They are now radicalized 13 and 14-year-olds are being listened to by the whole country. You try to listen to these kids, 13 years old, they can't go to the bathroom he can't go to the bathroom by himself, but we're going to listen to him because he's as bright as could be. He was in Parkland, he nearly got killed. What he says is brilliant. These kids are now leading the country. This is shameful.
And they're eating Tide Pods.
I'm sorry?
And they're eating Tide Pods.
Strange mouthwash.
It's a trend. It's like eating goldfish.
They are
Goldfish
heroes
aren't going
now.
to kill you.
They're not heroes for the country. They are heroes and spokespeople for the Democrat Party.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're being used. So the tears that they shed, oh, these poor kids were killed. No. NRA and Trump. Let's get a vote now. And they're waiting for the next one to happen. Our job is to educate our neighbors and relatives and friends. I have relatives who are liberals. I have friends who, I've had friends, I don't have them anymore. They are still liberals because I don't associate with them. I don't want to have anything to do with them. I don't want to waste my time with them. But we have got to work within our party to strengthen our party, and we have got to basically lay the roadwork. We've got to be the cement workers, the paving people. We have to pave the road for the Republican Party to win. And we've got to keep them straight. And we've got to say Trump is our leader, and we follow him. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. My parents weren't perfect. Who's perfect? And he's not perfect. But could you imagine what would it be today if we would say every day, President Hillary Clinton? It really, our country would be gone. By this time, our country would be gone. And to my Jewish friends, I say to them who are liberal, I say to them, I've never gotten an answer. I have never gotten an answer to this one question. I say to my Jewish friends, how could you have voted for Barack Obama knowing that he was a member of the United Trinity Church of Christ in Chicago under Reverend Jeremiah Wright, who was a Jew hater, and he was in that church for 20 years as the most eminent, prominent member of that church. He had power in that church. Did he say a word against Reverend Jeremiah Wright? Never. Did he have a good, close friendship with Louis Farrakhan? You bet your life. Did he have a good friendship with William Ayers? You bet your life. William Ayers, the bomber. And Bernadine Dawn, his wife, who killed cops in New York City. Did Barack Obama, was he close to them? You bet. But do the Democrats know this? I don't want to know. Don't tell me it's not true. Anything you say against Barack Obama's life. So these Jewish people never answer me that. They never answer that question. I say, please, tell me why you voted for me. They have no answer. So they yell at me, they scream at me, they spit, Roof comes out of their mouth, and they walk away. Because Democrats, if they have no answer, they go into the mode of violence and anger, and it's your fault. So I have a problem with the Martin movement, but I love being together with Christians and Jews. I want to be together with fighters. I do not want to be together with cowards. I don't like cowards. Look at the coward in Broward County. Look at this. Look at the Broward County Sheriff's Office. These guys were cowards. So I was trained in basic training to kill. I was a soldier. They didn't teach me how to be a social worker. They didn't tell me how to be a compassionate individual. In basic training, 16 weeks, they taught me how to kill. And that was my job. They said, Alan, here's a weapon. Go out and kill. These cops weren't supposed to kill this guy. I was in this word, they cowered behind the car. They hid behind the car. And Scott Israel, Democrat, heavy Democrat. He lived next to me in West Oakland. We lived on a big canal. He was my neighbor, Scott Israel, in 1992. He was a lieutenant in Fort Lauderdale. And I looked outside one day, it was a massive canal behind us. Right behind us were the other place. Nice house. And here's this guy feeding these alligators. Every day at 3 o'clock, he'd be feeding the alligators. So I went outside in the backyard. I said, hey, Scott, this is dangerous. These are not pets. These are killers. And they come up on the lawn. You couldn't stop them from coming up on the lawn. He said, leave me alone. It's none of your business. That was the last time I spoke to Scott Israel. The man is a complete idiot, but he is a Democrat, and he's the sheriff of Broward County, and you see him on television. You say to yourself, I can't believe it. Isn't that what you say? I can't believe what comes out of this guy's mouth. But he's run by Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Alcee Hastings. They own him. They own him. And do you know whom he hired as a sheriff's deputy about 3 years ago? Let me throw a name out. Nizar Hamzeh. Do you know who Nizar Hamzeh is? Let me tell you who he is. He was the head of the Council on American Islamic Relations in South Florida. Muslim Brotherhood organization that calls for the killing of Jews, the wiping out of Israel. Nizar Hamzeh is a devout radical Muslim. He calls for the destruction of the Middle East by the Muslim Brotherhood and ISIS. Scott Israel was told by Debbie Wasserman Schultz, hire this man. He hires him. He's a sheriff's deputy. He hires a guy who is beholden to the Quran, not the Constitution. He's beholden to the Quran. If you're a Muslim, your first loyalty is to the Quran, not the Constitution. And this is Scott Israel. But is he going to survive this? We don't know. But if he does not survive it, look for his replacement to be Nizar Hamzeh. This is a long shot. A Muslim who knows how to bring the community together, a compassionate leader of the Muslim people. So all I say to you, and I beg of you, join together. Build this club up. Make it a competing force in the community. And speak up, and speak up, and speak out, and vote Republican. Thank you so much.